website, which is oaksterdamuniversity.com, and you can sign up for our newsletter. In that newsletter, you will get like tips of the month, horticulture tips. Another really cool feature is you will have an alumni success story. So, okay, Asim, all these people are graduating from Oaksterdam. What's next? Well, take a look at the newsletter. Look at the alumni stories and see what these graduates are doing. See where they're going, what they've done, what businesses they've opened. See, and see for yourself. It's a great way to kind of judge what's happening. But that's a place where you can get those tips. And we will be offering more video tips. It's probably going to take us, let's be honest with you, 2 or 3 months before we can start rocking those out.
Okay. Now, have you ventured into politics at all, as far as a unit? Like, I'm pretty sure by now you have a huge alumni email list, things like that, and maybe, you know, officially Oaksterdam, my opinion, maybe officially Oaksterdam can, like, you know, exercise a little political muscle from time to time. Like, say, for instance, here in New Jersey, we got Governor Christie and his positions on things.
Right.
I believe Oaksterdam is part of the Coalition for Cannabis Policy Reform or something like that. Isn't there a coalition forming that's going to work together to get enough signatures for the ballot initiative to legalize cannabis in California in 2016?
Yeah, you're very right. I'm impressed. You know your stuff. This is very, very correct. So Dale Sky Jones, who is our executive chancellor, she's also the chairperson for the exact organization that you mentioned, which is the Coalition for Cannabis Policy Reform. And so she is working very hard on the 2016 initiative to help tax control and regulate cannabis. In 2016, one thing I want to mention is oftentimes you'll hear the word recreational use. At the school, we try to avoid that. We always say adult use because a 16-year-old can, of course, use cannabis recreationally. It's important to understand these things because that could affect votes, one little word. But, yeah, we are heavily involved politically, like I said, just here with not just local government, but we have, a lot of former and current senators, congressmen, governors that we work with, of course, on the political front, because in order to move these issues forward, it's not going to happen without doing that. So we are as politically involved as any organization. And one of the things that we're really proud of is if you look at our faculty members, we don't just talk to you about cannabis or teach you the law. We're the ones that are actually out there advocating. So we always push for advocacy. You'll notice that our instructors are the first ones ever to take these cases to the Supreme Court. The first 2 people ever to be tried as defendants, again, are our faculty members. So we're always out there. We're always political. We work with judges, you name it. In fact, when we were in Atlantic City, one of the council members at large came down to take a look and visit us. He was very impressed with the outcome. But, you mentioned our alumni. We've graduated over 20,000 students thus far. And we're very proud of the fact that when we travel to places like ASA conferences or NCIA, if you raise your hand and you ask how many OU graduates are out there, about a third of the room will raise their hand. And these are the ones that are actually moving forward and advocating for change. So we're really, really proud of our alumni.
Dr. Sapal, will you be at the Golden Gate Cannabis Cup, or there's some type of event happening on 420 in San Francisco?
I'm not sure. There's always a lot of events. If it's local right there in our backyard, I'll always try to be. 420 is really a busy, busy day. There's always so much happening. There's a lot of places to go to. But if we can be there, at least I would send some of our staff members. But we will try to be there, sure.
Well, we want to thank you so much for being on our show. We know that you're busy and for shedding some knowledge on cannabis education. Tell folks one more time how they can find Oaksterdam University online and get more information.
No problem. You can always just type Oaksterdam, Oaksterdam, Oaksterdam.com. That'll take you to our website. A lot of information. Check out our faculty page. Look at our schedule, our enrollment. Our summer semester has filled up, so if you want to take our next semester, the fall would be open. That's in about September. And the last couple of things is if you're looking out for us, in case you're in the area, in June 12th through the 15th, we're going to be back in Las Vegas, right? And there'll be a job fair there, so bring your resumes. And then on the East Coast, we'll be there in Washington, D.C. We're going to actually be at the Capitol Hilton, June 27th and June 28th. So for 2 days, we're going to offer our classic seminar, and that's another great way to come find us.
Great. Thank you so much again, and please keep us updated as you proceed with this ballot initiative.
And a special
we will. We're working hard on it.
And we want to say a special shout out to Mr. Lee for really getting you guys started. Hell yeah.
And to Dale Sky Jones.
To all of you. All right. Thanks again. We'll talk soon.
Hey, it was a pleasure to speak with all of you. I appreciate the invitation. You guys here, and thank you for the support.
All right.
Thank you. Keep doing what you do.
All righty. Sounds good. Take care. Bye-bye.
We're getting some really great guests.
Hell yeah. I didn't know Amsterdam were like that hands-on with everything. Not
They're
even just
legit.
education, activism, all that, you know?
Yeah, I
Full
discovered,
circle.
actually, before I knew he was going to be on the show, I looked into the ballot initiative, and I saw that, that Amsterdam was part of that. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's good to have educational institutions, advocating. And it makes sense too, because if they have such a large alumni base and they have this sort of good relationship with city officials, and they're really positioned well to educate people about what the ballot initiative would do. So I hope they get the signatures that they need in order to get that on the ballot in 2016.
I like the whole medical aspect that he put on it, where physicians can still get their CMEs while going to Amsterdam University and apply that to what they're doing now in the work field. Like, because me doing documentary and interviewing doctors within the field in New Jersey, their biggest thing is for one, they're clueless on a lot of things, and then they don't want to go out and waste their energy on New Jersey's system where they don't really get I don't think they get a certification or anything like that. It's just a class they pay for just to be hey, whatever, I'm part of the program. But what he sounds like from what Dr. Spall says, the CME progression from physicians joining the Amsterdam University is what New Jersey's lacking and a lot of other states.
I mean, I'm just kind of bummed out because when I was 17, I just remember looking into all these colleges and none of them really appealed to me. I went on these campus visits and they go through all the business major, liberal arts. It's just there's nothing really that appealed to me except for communications, and I'm still doing radio. But as I've come to discover, you don't actually need to go to college to do radio. So here, I mean, can you imagine, as a 17 or 18-year-old, and someone, your parent might say, or guidance, hey, do you think about a career in cannabis as a grower, as a cook, as an extractor, as a marketer? The possibilities are endless. And so I think it's really wonderful for this next generation of millennials, who have this opportunity. I mean, although you're never too old to continue your education and learn. So really it's for everybody. But, for those folks that are considering a career and they might be frustrated by the recession and knowing that there's not a lot of jobs, the green economy really does offer something to young people. And these are the folks that are legitimizing these types of careers.
Definitely. Sounds like we lived a very similar 17-year-old lifestyle.
It's true. So maybe we'll talk a little about some news stories that I've collected in
what
the
you got
last
for
half
us?
hour. I have a roundup of some news. So the first story is that Obama did something really big this week, and that's that he commuted the sentences of 22 drug offenders, including a gentleman who had a life sentence for marijuana. So I think that's really exciting. Have you guys heard about this?
Wait, is that the same guy in Missouri with the life sentence or someone else?
Yeah, but I don't think it's big. Matter of fact, last week in my column, I specifically said, so what? Because we got 200-something thousand.
I mean, negative Nancy?
No, I'm not trying to be negative, but in the scope of things, there's at least 2.2 million people in prison for drug offenses. I know the figure total in prison is closer to 6, but just for drug offenses, nonviolent drug offenses, it's like 2.2. He lets out 22 people.
It's a start, bro.
Commute zone.
It's a start, bro.
And only one of them was marijuana.
I hate Obama.
Only one of them was marijuana.
Only one of them?
Why do you,
Yeah.
why
the
do you
rest of
think
them
he
were
did
meth
this?
and cocaine.
Okay, so one.
It was a PR thing. And listen, I've been a big supporter of Obama.
He's your
and
boy.
I've been jumping off the bandwagon, I guess, sometimes, but and this is one of them. I was like, 22? Like, geez.
Yo,
Come on.
now
That's not even a step.
I'm not a fan of Obama, but I think that like it's a step in the right direction because it always goes back to him being like the first African American president. He has that microscope on him, and they're just waiting for him to be like, "Oh, this was your plan the whole time." But you even brought it up several times, and I think he's going to do what Corzine did, and like this is one of those steps where it's just like before he leaves office, he's going to put a bill and just leave it for the next president. Be like, "You don't want to do it." Then you deal with the backlash, and then you deal with all the egg throwing and all that.
Yeah, I've been thinking he's going to do that too.
I've been hoping
That's
him
my
and
final
Eric
hope
Holder.
on
I think he wants that
Yeah,
his be his
definitely.
legacy, though.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't really. I mean,
I think Obamacare is more of his legacy.
his
than
legacy,
anything.
totally. But there's
Exactly.
still a lot of people that don't want Obamacare.
It's going to be here forever, regardless.
But I think his
Yeah.
legacy
You
could
don't
be legalizing marijuana or descheduling.
In my eyes, it will be.
You would think Eric Holder, too. He's another lame duck.
Yeah.
He is out of office. They're already trying to find his replacement. And you would think as a black man, he would try more, to relax these laws or these policies regarding, marijuana.
Yeah, that's what they both kind of like say little things and indicate things, but they haven't done it. So, which leads me to think he's going to do like a Corzine at the last minute. He's going to do it and run out of the office the same way.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Definitely have my fingers crossed for that.
Ain't gonna happen.
No.
Well,
No, BZ,
hope.
nah.
I mean,
Why? Because he's a Democrat?
No, he's
Why?
not even a
Why?
Democrat. He's a
Says
socialist.
the Republican in the
oh,
room.
man, come on. He's a Democrat.
He's not a Democrat.
Start with a Fox News talking point. A
Fox
socialist.
News.
Socialist. Come on.
That's great.
First of all,
you got arrested during his.
most
part of one of the two
most
teams.
Americans are socialists, and we don't even understand it.
Obama's a socialist.
Come on. So the next time, I'm sure. Let's say you live in Randolph.
Yes.
How does your fire company work?
The Hard Fire Company sucks.
That's socialism, though. Everybody is together.
Did you read my post? Why would you even go there?
I didn't read that one. I
You
must
didn't
have
read my
missed that
post?
one. I must have missed
Screw
that
the
one.
fire department,
You
all
talked
right?
about the fire department? Oh, I missed that one. All right, the wrong
You
example.
freaking showed up, all right?
The library.
How
No,
about snow plowing?
I missed. Yeah, but
The
it's
snow
all,
plow. I got to pay for the snow plowing.
Yeah, no.
We have a caller
community
calling
does it.
in.
My
Your
God.
community does it.
Or we did. Lost another one. So
Roland, call right now. Roland, call right now.
All right, we have another story. The National Institute on Drug Abuse, also known as NIDA, a government-run research institute with a budget of over $1 billion, has admitted this week that cannabis can kill certain cancer cells and reduces the size of others. We already knew this, of course. There's tons of research out there that supports this notion. But I think this is interesting because also in the same week, a spokesperson for the U.S. Department of Justice, the DOJ, told the Los Angeles Times that a bipartisan amendment passed by Congress last year prohibiting the DOJ from spending any money to undermine state medical marijuana laws doesn't prevent it from prosecuting people for medical marijuana or seizing their property. The statement comes as the agency continues to target people who are complying with their state medical marijuana law. And this insubordination is occurring despite the fact that members of Congress in both parties were clear that their intent with the amendment was to protect medical marijuana patients and providers from federal prosecution and forfeiture. And the reason why I put these two stories together is because there's a contradiction in our government. This has been pretty clear because, the office of the White House and the president, president has made lots of statements in support of marijuana. But then you
like
have
the Vice interview.
the DOJ and the DEA, who are just basically acting rogue right now, doing whatever they want. And then you have the NDIA and the National Institute of Health, which know and are aware of medical cannabis research, and they know it shouldn't be Schedule 1. So we have these conflicting positions and points of view happening at the federal level, and it just really shows, again, the need to have like a complete and total reforms of all
Everything.
these laws and policies regarding how are you going to have one office, say, yes, cannabis kills cancer cells, but then have another office say,
Confusing the
we're
hell
gonna
out of
go
people.
after the